Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is, there we go. Today is Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. We're in the final hour of the trading day. The final hour of the trading day is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions. And I say this because during the day, you have the algorithms and the day traders. They are the ones that are in control of the price. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in. They take control away from the day traders and the algorithms because they are dealing with so much money. They have very smart people, best information, best technology, but that large amount of money, they can control the price and move the price. So in my opinion, following what the large financial institutions do at the end of the day vis-a-vis your levels is a long-term edge in your trading. So thank you all for coming today. Always nice to see everyone. I appreciate you being here. I always look forward to this time of the day to be able to commiserate with my trading friends in the chat. So I appreciate you coming here. I hope that the time you're spending here is helping you learn some good trading and investing principles. So today, currently, the Dow is up 16 points, up 0.05. The NASDAQ is down, however, 40 points, down 0.29%, and the S&P is slightly up, almost unchanged, up 0.83, up 0.02%. So here is the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have a couple day trades today on Apple that I will share with you. After that, we'll go over to the board. If any of my some of my students have their positions up on the board today, so we're going to go through those, take a look, see how those are doing. I see a couple that are doing really well, which is fantastic. After that, we are going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. Most important skill that you can develop in trading really is not your technical analysis. It's the ability to have the discipline and to follow your plan. So I like to touch on that for a few minutes each day. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I've gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. As you know, I have 3 requirements before I look to enter any trade. First, I need to make sure I have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Secondly, I need to make sure I have a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2-to-1, based upon valid support below me and valid and likely resistance above me in order to do the math on whether I'm 2-to-1 on the risk to reward. And then number 3, just make sure you have a good, complete trading plan on any trade that you take. Make sure you're position sizing for volatility. Make sure you know where your absolute emergency stop is so that you know exactly how much you're going to lose in the worst case scenario on a trade. Know where your end of day stop is going to be, know where your intraday profit targets are going to be, know where your overhead resistance levels are going to be, and make sure you have a plan for trailing your trade. Because if you get into a nice extended trade and it's going your way, of course you need to develop some kind of protocol so that you do not give it all back. All right, so with those 3 things in mind, I am going to go down through the potential candidates that I have today. I do have several, and at the end of the day, if they look good and they meet all the criteria, I will go ahead and purchase it right before the market closes. After the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you need any clarification on anything I discussed, please let me know. I'm happy to do that. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to take a look at today before the close of the market, go ahead, put them in the live stream, and I will do my very best to get to them before the close of the day. Lastly, if any of my students have any new entries or exits today that they would like me to update on the board, if you could please wait till the end of the day before you tell me about them. That way the pressure's off. I am done trading and teaching, and then we'll spend as much time as we need to get those all updated. Okay, so hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I will be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, well, let's see who is here today. Lova is here. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you are having a good day. Kamal is here. Good to see you, Kamal. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel, my friend. I really appreciate it. I know everyone else does as well. Hope you're having a good day. Paxton is here. Good to see you, Packy. And yeah, glad I could help you out on that chart. But yeah, that particular stock, can't remember what it was now. But you know, that's come back into the value zone, but I think we need to go down a little bit more, see some sideways motion, and then have a V1, V2 to the upside. Jonathan D is here. Nice to see you, Jonathan. Hope you are having a nice evening over there in Ireland with you and the family. Thank you for coming by as always. Tracy is here. Nice to see you, Tracy. Hope you are doing well. Steve Burns is here. Hey, Steve, good to see you. Always an honor and a privilege to have Steve Burns here. Appreciate everything that you do for the channel, Steve, and I know everyone else does as well. David is here. Hi, Greg and Traders. Hi, David. Nice to see you, sir. Hope you're having a good day. Johnson is here. Hi, Johnson. Good to see you. Hi, Greg and all. Good to see you, bud. Frank is here. Hello, Greg and group. Hello, Frank. Nice to see you, and as always, thank you for everything that you do for this channel as well, Frank. All right, let's take a look. Let's go over to my positions. First position, Gary and I did buy silver, AGQ, double leverage silver with a nice return back into the value zone, some sideways motion, false breakout from the low of the previous range, under 50, over 50, and a V2. That's why I took the trade. I took it at 43.96. It's currently 47.43. It's up 2.18% this week. And so far on the trade, up about 7.74%. So that's been a good trade on the weekly. Myself, Jonathan, Frank, Gary, and David, we all took Anheuser-Busch, ticker symbol BUD, higher low V2 on the monthly. So I like to trade different time frames, daily, weekly, monthly. Took this one at 62.91. It's currently 70.28. It's up 11.82% so far, 11.79 now on the trade, but pretty good in 1 month. Have some profit targets up here. Do have earnings coming up on the 6th. I will get out before earnings and lock in, hopefully, what's a nice gain, but we shall see. Goldman Sachs, David and Greg, that's me, did buy Goldman Sachs with the 520 crossover here at 335.28 on the daily. Moved up, took some profits, had a big down bar, closed below both the 5 and the 20. These are the two moving averages that I use to get into the trade. My protocol is to get out of half. I'm glad I kept the other half because it has run up nicely. Did hit one profit target up here today at 347.19. I am in trailing stop mode. I hit it today. That's the orange line. So now if I get a close below the previous day's low, I will go ahead and lock in a half position. I'll sell half of whatever I have, but in order to do that, I need a close below the previous day's low. Conversely, if we go up, test the 70 RSI and reject it, I would get out of half. And then after getting out of half at the 70 RSI, if I have a close below the previous day's low, I'd get out of everything. Lastly, if we make it up to 65 RSI, then if I get a close below the 5-day EMA, I would get out of all of the positions. So anyway, so far this trade's doing nice and glad to see it up today. IBB, Steve, Tracy, and myself did take IBB. I took a half position here. I took the 530 EMA crossover that Steve pointed out, bought it at 154.50, has moved up ever since we've bought it. I did hit one profit target right near the top today at, what is that, 159.30, I think that says. Very close to my trailing stop level. Have not quite got there yet, but we'll see what the readings are tomorrow. It may bring it back down. But anyway, so far this trade up nicely. It's up 2.02%, so not too shabby. KMX, all right. I did buy KMX. I think I'm the only one. I bought KMX with 520 EMA crossover. I bought it here at 131.21. Moved up a little yesterday. I believe I hit a profit target. I can't remember, but I definitely hit one today at 132.92. This particular trade up 1.55% so far. Not bad in a couple days. Light. I took Light along with Lilia, return to value, sideways motion, false breakout to the downside, V2, under 50, over 50, lots of signals here. Bought this on the weekly at 91.74. It's 95.03, starting to move a little bit, which is good. And so far this trade is up 3.40%. So as you can see, I have daily trades on there. I have monthly trades on there. I like to have different time frames. Speaking of different time frames, Merck, Jonathan and I did buy a higher low V2 on Merck while MACD was green at 77.42. Moved up the next week nicely, hit a profit target, rejected the 50-week moving average. That's my signal to sell half, which I did. And currently it's down a little this week. 0.37%. Again, I bought it at 77.42 at 77.51, but I did lock in half profits last week with the rejection of the 50. So far so good. I don't see any reason to change this. Roku, all right, this one's not so hot tamale. I bought this yesterday. I liked it with a 520 crossover. I liked how the weekly looked right in the middle of the value zone. Bought it at 367.89. I did hit one profit target today right at the top at 376.47, which I'm grateful because it's much lower than that, by about $15 lower. So this is a good example of why I like to sell into strength in case of a reversal. I bought it with the 520 crossover. The price is still above the 5 and the 20. If it closes below both the 5 and the 20, because that's the moving average that I use to enter the trade, I will get out of half of my position. This is ugly right here today with the V1 rejection of the 50 RSI. The 50-day moving average, but I'm going to just play this one out. The way my rules say, if it closes below both the 5 and the 20, I will get out. If not, I will just keep the position. SPY, I did buy SPY, the overnight SPY trade. I buy SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I sell it first thing the next morning. I bought it yesterday at 416.61. I sold it at the open 417.97 for a nice little overnight SPY trade. I'll buy this again today at the close and hold it overnight, sell it first thing the next morning. All right, here's my day trades on Apple. I'm going to show you the most recent one first. And that was here. Nice return to value, sideways motion, a lot of sideways motion. Bought this here at 134.66. I was kind of expecting something good from this trade because it was such a good setup, but did not work. 2 bars later, I had to sell when it closed below halfway of the washout bar. I got in at 134.66 and I got out at 134.52. So 14-cent loss on that one. I did have a better luck with Apple earlier in the day when we had this sideways motion here, had a nice V1, false breakout to the downside on the 5-minute. I bought it here at 134.45. 2 bars later, moved up nicely. I sold half at 134.61. We went above the 50 SMA, closed below the 50 SMA. That was my signal to get out of the other half, not the other half, but half of the half. I can't find my entry point. I mean my exit point. Well, it was right here about 134.57. So, you know, at this point I only have a quarter left, but I let it ride, had a big move up here, sold half, and then when we had this big expansion bar up here into the third ATR channel, I sold the other. So basically in at 135.45, out at 134.61, out at about 134.55, out at 134.77, and out at 135.02. So not too shabby. Not too shabby all the way around. Not a lot of day trades today, just the two on Apple. And you can see here on Apple had a big move up over the 200-day moving average on the 5-minute. That could be good. We're coming back down. Looks like we're testing that 200 right now. Be interesting to see if that holds. Lova says, when in trailing stop mode, a rejection of the 50 SMA from below is only relevant if the original entry trigger was an under over 30 RSI. Is that correct? Technically, I mean, what you said is correct, but also if I'm in a return to value V1 or V2 or high or low V1 or V2 Leva, and I do reject the 50 RSI, I will sell half. If I reject the 50 SMA, I will also sell half. So your question, no, not specifically. I mean, yes, if you go under 30, over 30, I do get out of half if I reject the 50 SMA or the 50 RSI, but I also use the same protocol if I have a return to value V1 or V2 or a higher low V1 or V2. The only time I don't use it is if I'm just a under 200, over 200, under 250, over 250, or if I'm in a if I'm in a moving average crossover trade. Dan says, hi Greg and everyone, I'm having flooring installed in my new condo on the bay. Just saying hello, wish you all good buys. Thank you, Dan. That's pretty nice to have some nice new little flooring going on. Perfect. Perfect. Yavar is here. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Jonathan says, Fiber and Baba have 520 crosses. You are correct. They are on my list to take a look at. Mamal is here. Hi, Mamal. Good to see you. Steve says, slight 520 EMA crossover on Baba today. Yes, I have that on my list. And Steve also says a 520 crossover on Fiverr today. Looks like we're all looking at the same thing. It looks like we're all looking at the same thing. So that's great. All right, give me 1 second. Okay. Jonathan beat me to it. Yep. All right, well, let's take a look then and see what's going on over here in your particular trades. Steve and Frank bought IWM with the 1030 SMA and the 1050 SMA crossover. They bought it at 228.28. It's currently 227.90. So very slightly down on the day and very slightly down on the trade so far. ARC. Frank bought ARC yesterday. Half position with the 520 crossover. He bought it at 127.55. It's currently 126.03, so it is down on the day, and it is now also down on the trade. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. Next up, RBLX. Tracy in Paxton by RBLX yesterday at 74.80. It's currently 74.27. Is down 56 cents today, so it is down on the day so far, and it is down on the trade, but it's well off of its lows, which is good. GNRC, we have Steve and Jonathan bought GNRC with the 520 crossover. Bought it here at 331.12. It's 332.14, so it is up $1.32 today. It was up much higher earlier, had a bit of a reversal, but the main part here is that we are up on the day, and Jonathan and Steve are up on the trade. NVAX. Wow, what a day, Frank, for your trailer. And I'll explain that in a second. All right, Frank bought NVAX all the way back here at 135. It more than doubled. You heard me right. It more than doubled. Looks like within about a week, 10 days. He sold 90%. He kept 10% as a trailer, meaning he's just holding on to it. And, you know, came all the way back down. I'm sure he's glad he sold it up here. But look at this today, up 16% just today, everybody, in this little pennant flag here that broke out, and boy, did it break. So congratulations, Frank. That's one of the biggest trades I've seen all year, if not the biggest. Tracy and Paxton bought Canopy Growth at 27.15 with the bounce off the 200-day moving average. Moved its way up. It's down 65 cents today. So it is slightly, it is down on the day, and it is down on the trade as well. Nike. Steve had a beautiful buy on Nike here. Great risk to reward ratio. Deep dip buy entry with the rejection of the 200-day and the good risk to reward. Bought at 126.90. It's currently 132.32. This has been a fantastic trade for Steve. Steve is up 4.03% on the trade. Okay, David bought with this higher low V1 here at 97.90. It's currently 103.52, so he's up nicely on the trade. Steve bought the same stock a few days ago with the 520 crossover at 101.86. It's currently 103.52. So it is down on the day, but it is up both for David and Steve on the trade, which is great. ELY. Frank had a nice trade on ELY. Higher low V1 here looks like, while MACD was positive. Bought it at 27.75. It's currently 29.52. It's up 1.06% today. And he is up about 6% so far on the trade. So excellent. And then last but not least, INDA. Tracy and Steve bought INDA with the rejection, a bounce near the 30 RSI plus the V1. Bought it at 39.56. Currently it is 40.97, up 0.81% today, and up 3.47% on the trade. Not too shabby. All right, Frank has the poem for us. Let me copy this, post this in here. Ooh, this one's going to be a good one, I can tell. All right, Frank says, trade with your inner true grit. It's part of you that burns like a fire that's lit. Stay hungry, be determined, and never quit. How do you succeed if you don't commit? Wow. How good is that? Let's try it one more time. Trade with your inner true grit. It's part of you that burns like a fire that's lit. Stay hungry, be determined, and never quit. How do you succeed if you don't commit? Wow. Let's give Frank a round of applause, because it's just so great, and it's so relevant, and it's so perfect. I mean, that's right. You know, how are you ever going to succeed at trading if you don't commit to it? You know, it's so true. You have to stay hungry, you know, and don't quit. And I mean, it's fantastic. Yuvar says GMEMA. General Motors. Yeah, I don't know if that backtests well though. Let's take a look and see if it does. I'm backtesting this here. Yes, it does. It does backtest well with the 520 crossover. I just checked it. Give me one sec. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good, and it does backtest well. Thank you for pointing that out, Ivar. BBY. Best Buy. Well, let's test that one too. That one I cannot test. It doesn't have that one available, but it is a false breakout to the downside and a V2 holding the 50 RSI, which is good. Yep, that all looks good. Just give me 1 second. 345.80. All right. All right, well, listen, before we start going through our watch list, before we start looking for the best intraday, or excuse me, end of day swing trade using the 3 requirements, right? Confluence combination of indicators on multiple time frames, good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1, and then having a full trade plan no matter what you buy, know exactly what you're going to do if it goes down or up or sideways, right? We never know what's going to happen with the market, but we have to know what we are going to do. But before we do that, just want to spend a few minutes, talk about some good trading principles, maybe some good trading words of wisdom, talk a little bit about some concepts of trader psychology. You know, I have my favorite Facebook and Twitter channels out there, and one of my favorite is Money Trade Edge, Better Thinking, Better Trading. It's a really good channel. Every time he or she posts, I make it a point to read because these are great posts. Let's see. And he's, oh, yeah, this cuts this off. But go and follow this channel, Money Trade Edge, Better Thinking, Better Trading. I think you'll be very happy that you did. But let's see what he has to say. Trading is like climbing a mountain for the first 5 years to enjoy the view for the rest of your life. Trading is like climbing a mountain for the first 5 years to enjoy the view for the rest of your life. So what does that mean? Well, I think you can figure that out. I think on average, it takes a trader probably 5 years of experience to really become a good, successful, profitable trader. Have the experience, go through different markets, get a lot of reps in of trading. But I know some people that have done it in a year, but I think when you first start trading, you trade the market that you're in and you think you kind of have experienced it all. But I think it takes a good 5 years on average to go through all the different types of markets, go through all sorts of mistakes that you undoubtedly are going to make and learn from them, hopefully learn from them. But listen, if you're really advanced, maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But here he says 5 years. And I think that's about average. But after that, that's like, climbing the mountain to get to the top in those first 5 years, but being able to enjoy the view for the rest of your life. Or in other words, be able to make a living trading for the rest of your life. So it's not easy. It's just like anything else. If you become a doctor, you just don't learn to become a doctor in a year, right? It takes more than a decade to become a doctor or an attorney or any professional athlete. Think about professional athletes. Think about how many years they have practiced their craft growing up, junior high, high school, college, before they get to the pros. Anything worth doing takes time, takes effort. It's going to be painful at some times, but if you're really motivated and have that grit, like Frank talked about, and you keep at it, you can get there. And then when you're done, when you're finished, and you have all that experience and you've been through it all, hopefully then you'll have the skills that it takes to be able to do this for the rest of your life. So I just rambled about that, but Money Trade Edge here put it nice and succinct in a bit of a metaphor. Trading is like climbing a mountain for the first 5 years to enjoy the view for the rest of your life. So keep at it, keep going, keep practicing, keep studying, get serious about it, create a plan, follow your plan, and that's what it takes. So thank you, Money Trade Edge. That was helpful for me. I hope it was helpful for everyone in the live stream. Love It says, thank you, Yavar, for BBY. Yes, thank you for that, for Best Buy. Lilia is here. Nice to see you, Lilia. Hope you are doing well. Hope the dogs are all doing well. Say hello to Remy, and I forgot the other one's name. I apologize, but they're both beautiful, beautiful German Shepherds. So what do we have? 132. All right. Well, we've made this. We've made it through pretty quickly. Anybody have any comments or thoughts or anything about what's going on today? We do have earnings today at the close. Let's take a look here. Today we have AMD after the close. We have Microsoft, Pinterest. We have Google. We have Alphabet. That should be interesting. We also have Visa, Texas Instruments. So this is a big, there's some big companies here. AMD, Microsoft, Pinterest, Alphabet, and Visa reporting today, which I'm sure will have some type of effect on the market. Tomorrow we have Boeing in the morning, Shopify in the morning. Haven't talked about Shopify lately. We have Apple, Facebook after the close on tomorrow, and then Thursday, Twitter, Amazon. So this is a big earnings week, and as you know, it's my policy. I do not hold through earnings. It's just a policy that I have. Yes, you can make money very quickly if they have good earnings and the stock goes up if you're long. But again, as risk managers, our number one priority should be risk management and protecting from risk. And so holding through earnings, in my opinion, is the quickest and fastest way to put yourself at risk. So anyway, should be interesting after the close with AMD, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Visa. Should we take a look at Bitcoin? Look at Bitcoin. I have a friend that trades a lot of Bitcoin, and a few days ago was not so hot tamale, but look at this. We did hold that third ATR channel, negative third ATR channel. 90% of the time the price does hold there. We've bounced. Now we're up against the 50-day moving average. I would imagine that would act as some type of resistance. I mean, it's a confluence of the 50 RSI. It's a confluence of the 50-day moving average. It's a confluence of the 10-day moving average. So, somewhere right about in here, I think likely will at least stop going up, at least move sideways at best, and hopefully not go down for my friend. But anyway, nice little bounce, nice little rally on this V2 and rejection of the negative third ATR channel. All right, let's take a look. Alibaba does have a 520 crossover. Currently, the 5 is 233.35, and we are 233.26 on the 20. So the 5 is above the 20. We're right. We pegged that 50-day moving average on the way down. You can see almost to the penny. I don't quite like that, but when you're taking a 520 crossover, technically it doesn't really factor in the technicals of the 50, but we are right there at the 50. Looks like we went under 50, over 50 on the RSI. So anyway, this one is a potential. It does back test well. JD, Johan pointed this out to me earlier today. This is a higher low V2. Technically, it's a higher low V2 for sure. Here's a low. This low is higher than this low, is a V2. Bit of a kind of a large risk here. If you're using halfway of the washout bar, your risk here is about 3.69%. Your gain, if you go up to the 200-day, is about 4.03%. So this seems more like a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio instead of a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Intel. Well, you know, I generally talk about the confluence of a 30 RSI and a 200-day moving average, or a 30 RSI and a 250-day moving average. You know, one that does not happen very often is the confluence of a 100-day moving average at the same time you have a 30 RSI. We are below the 100. We're at 33.14 right now, so this does not qualify. But, you know, tomorrow, if we went under the 30 RSI, back over the 30 RSI, and we close back over the 100-day moving average, that would certainly be interesting. So nothing here yet today, but I noticed this, and it doesn't happen very often. In order to get a 30 RSI 100-day moving average, you need a big sell-off. And we did. We had a big sell-off, and you know what happened after earnings. So I don't see anything here yet today, but we'll keep a look. We'll keep an eye on it. Verizon. I was looking at the rejection of the 250-day moving average. That might be possible. That's the purple line. Let me run this real quick and see how that back tests. Nope, it does not backtest well. It does not backtest well. So, all right, I'm going to take that one off. Fiverr, 520 crossover, 221.49, 221.28. So that does have the crossover right there, as Steve and Jonathan mentioned. I cannot backtest this one. Could Kamal or Steve or someone confirm that Fiverr does backtest well with the 520 crossover? I believe it does, if I remember correctly, but I'm not 100% sure, and I'd kind of like to know that before I think about, you know, me taking that trade as well. Okay. ALNY had a close above the 200-day moving average, did come back and test it. You know, gives you a decent little risk to reward. It is down today. It is holding the 200-day. I mean, these are the kind of trades where you can really make a lot of money, or you can really go down. But I mean, we did have a strong day up yesterday. We had a little bit of a pullback today and tested the 200, which is good. I mean, it is good. We have earnings come over. It's only 315,000 shares, so maybe not enough for me to really go ahead and buy that. But technically, you know, it is a decent little setup. But I think I'll pass. Let's look at the weekly on that and see. Weekly, nice little V2. Nice little sideways motion V2 here on the weekly. That does look good, actually. But again, we have earnings coming up on the 29th in a couple days. So not something I'm going to buy, but looks pretty good. Nautilus. Looks like we could potentially have a 520 crossover. I'm not able to test this. It's 1681 to 1682, so there is no valid 520 crossover as of yet. All right. GSX. Don't really see a legitimate setup here right this second, so move on from that one. QLYS. Big up day yesterday. I think we talked about this. It looked like it was a little chasey with the close way above the 200-day moving average and a move back down. I don't see anything on here that would interest me right now. Nectar had a lot of signals yesterday. 520 crossover, break of the fractal back here on the 22nd, but I don't see anything here that would interest me. Upwork. Don't see anything there. ENSG, the Ensign Group. Don't see anything here either. Beyond Meat having a pretty good day. We did have a V1 yesterday, but we came from a lower high. If we come from a lower high, I want to wash out that first low before I would get interested, so I don't see anything there. Activision, Blizzard, boy, that one really took a hit today, didn't it? Don't see anything here that would interest me. eBay. Looks like we might have a 520 crossover coming in the next couple days. I'm not sure how that back tests. Let me take a look. No, that does not back test well. An SPLK, splunk, plunk. That's pretty much what it did. So I think right now, unless, let's see, did anyone... Okay, so Fiverr does test positively. So my two favorite on the day right now are Alibaba with the 520 crossover. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly looks pretty good. It's right here in the value zone. Fiverr has the 520 crossover. Let's look at the weekly there. That one probably looks better. We have earnings out. $45.52. I think I'd probably go with Fiverr. I think Fiverr's probably the one I'm looking at today. FVRR. Okay. All right. Thank you, Kamal, for that. Appreciate that. Steve says slight 1030 EMA crossover on Spotify today. So here's spot 1030. Yes, there is a 1030 crossover on Spotify today as well. It's rejected the second ATR channel 2 days in a row, so that one will probably take it out of the running for me. Kamal says Baba has earnings on 4:30 and a nice little gift bag and a purse there as an emoji. Nice touch, Kamal. I like that. That's good. Good stuff. So, current positions before I get carried away here with anything else. AGQ looks fine, doing great on the weekly. Not going to have to do anything with this. Bud on the monthly, doing fantastic. Up 11.81% on this trade. Don't have to do anything there. Goldman Sachs, again, did hit the one profit target, did get to trailing stop levels. Been a nice trade so far. But now that I'm at trailing stop level, just need to close below the previous day's low to get me out. IBB is negative on the day, has not hit my trailing stop level. Fortunate enough to have hit that one profit target right there near the top, but profitable on the trade. KMX having a good day, really good day. Doesn't look like I'm going to have to do anything here either. Merck down a little bit this week, but still positive on the trade. Roku, I am going to have to watch Roku. This one is down 1.95%. If we get a close below the 5 and the 20, my rules call for me to sell half. So we'll just have to see how this goes. This one might be a photo finish. SPY, of course, I'm buying SPY at the close, and then I'll hold that overnight. Hope for some good earnings and then sell it tomorrow morning at the open. And then Fiverr is the one I'm looking at today with the 520 crossover. All right. Okay, who did I say had earnings today? AMD, Microsoft. So let's see what an app or so AMD, a little bit down on the day. Alphabet also down on the day going into earnings, and Microsoft up today going on earnings. Anyone have any predictions on these three stocks as far as what's going to be happening? Are they going to beat? Are the stocks going to go up or down? We always play this game during earnings. Kamal says SCCO earnings 428 on TradingView. Ava, nice to see you. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Ava wants to look at CPE. Mm-hmm. 35.48 compared to 35.44. I don't know how this back test. I'll give it a shot over here and see if this is available. No, CPE is not available, but that does look quite strong. That does look quite strong. Frank's making a daily high on Novavax, up 18.82% today. Wow. Congratulations, Frank. Congrats, my friend. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What a big day. Holy hamburgers. Did you hear that, Leva? Holy hamburgers. And look at VIX over here, really getting hammered. But look, we are getting very close to a double bottom with the bullish divergence, a major one. I mean, here's the MACD bars of this big move down. Jonathan, if you're listening, this is the lowest bar, but I don't measure from here. I measure the lowest bar of the move, which is about here. Now we're getting close to making that double bottom, and all there is green. So, you know, that's shaping up to be a double bottom with a bullish divergence and a missing right shoulder. The only thing we don't have, however, is we do not have a setup yet, or we do not have a trigger. The setup is very close to being complete. We just don't have a trigger yet. That's what we're looking for. So I'm keying off of Fiverr today with the 520 crossover, and that's about all I will do other than Roku that I have to watch here to sell half. So the 20 is at 360.37. We're at 361.12. So we are holding above. Looks okay. That I'll be able to keep that, but we'll see. I'll have to watch it. I'll have to watch it closely. Steve says, thanks, Kamal. All right, well, got done pretty quick and easy. Usually I'm hustling and bustling till the end of the day, but this feels good. So Roku's testing that 20, so I'm going to have to watch that one. Right, we have about 4 minutes. Opinion on Ben. Well, it looks like we have a crossover. Well, no, we have a crossover. I just don't know how that backtest. Let me take a quick look and see if I can pull it up on mine. Nope, I cannot pull it up, so I don't know how it backtests. Apologize. Yeah, it's technically crossed. It's 2962, 2962. That does count. If they're equal numbers, that does count. Let me make sure Fiverr is still crossed. It is. So I'm going to go ahead and buy Fiverr. Well, I'll wait it out to the bitter end. One minute to go. All right. And then I'll be buying SPY. Right. Did anybody have any ideas on earnings today? They going to beat? Stock's going to go up on the big ones, Microsoft, Alphabet, and AMD. All right. Huh. All right. So where did I buy everything today? So I bought Fiverr at 224.30, and I bought SPY at 417.52. And if anybody sees earnings, maybe you could point it out to me. That would be awesome. All right, so I did buy Fiverr with a 520 crossover here in the value zone. I bought it at 224.30. And I also an overnight SPY trade at 417.52. All right. And listen, if any of my students have any new entries or exits today, go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll get them all updated. Just want to cover 3 quick things. Just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I teach a 15-hour course. It's a great course. I teach you all 5 of the trading strategies that I use, that you can use in any different type of market, whether it's trending, deep dip buying, going sideways. I teach you step by step I teach you step by step each strategy, exactly how I position size, end of day stops, emergency stops, how to take profits, resistance levels, trailing stop methodologies. It's a great course. I've had some really great students over the years. I know if you take this course, you'll be a better trader, and I work very hard when I teach these classes, because it's very important to me that my students do well. It's very important, really important to me. I want them to do well, and that's why I burn a lot of calories when I teach. So if you are interested, all you have to do is send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. If you reach out to me, if you email me, just say, hey Greg, interested in your one-on-one course. You can also send me a message on Twitter, by the way, if you don't want to email. I'll reply and say, great, let's get together. Let's have a call. Let's have a Skype call. It's free. I just want to learn more about you and your trading challenges and your goals. And then it's a great time for you to ask me questions about the course in general. It is $1,750, but I think it's worth every single penny, just because of the amount of hours and the one-on-one attention that you get. Right. So, and then when we're done with the Skype call, if you decide down the road that you want to schedule, just get a hold of me. We'll get it scheduled up and we'll get rolling. Secondly, I do have a new course, a new online course on udemy.com. The link is in the description. It's a great course. It's only, I think, $12 or $15 depending on the day, but it contains 9.5 hours of video. It contains 26 total videos. It contains 15 study guides, and I teach you step by step how to trade the deep dip buy stock trading strategy that I use all the time, and it's one of my very favorites. So the link's in the description. Do yourself a favor, go get that course, and I know you'll be a better trader when you get that, when you're finished with that course as well. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help to build the channel, help to keep the channel around. It helps the channel out immensely. So if there's anything that you like today, that you found valuable, or in the past few days, if you could just hit that thumbs up button before you get out here, that's all I would ask. So thank you for that. All right, let's come back over here. Okay, Frank is out of IWM. Okay, Frank, got you there. And out of ARC. Okay. And newsflash, I will sell half of my NVAX trail at close and leave the other 5% to the trading gods. Also have a half position in Fiverr. All right. Frank, 1/2. And then NVAX. How did I do this before? All right, so I'll just switch this to 5% trailer. I think that's a good day to take a little profit on, Frank. That seems very like a great technical move there you did today. So I've got you down to 5 there as well. Okay. Let's take a look here at AMD. Up a little bit, but that doesn't look like earnings enough. Microsoft down 3.81%. That does look like earnings. And then what else did we have? We had Google. I think they up 103 points. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So kind of a mixed bag there, looks like. Kamal, you bought you today? Okay, I've got you down. Wow, Google's up a ton. It's up 5%. Wow. Let's see, anything else going on? AMD, 47 cents. And Microsoft, down 3.75% now. Microsoft books biggest revenue growth since 2018. And the stock's down. Kamal says, thanks, Greg. Have a good one, everyone. You as well, Kamal. Hope you have a good day. So I didn't see any new trades from Steve. Is that correct, Steve, if you're still out there? And then let's see. Apple's down a little after hours, so we're still waiting on AMD. So while we wait on that, why don't I read this like I do every day? If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. I really mean it, everybody. Let's go out, try to do one nice thing for another human being today. Let's try to go out and do one nice thing for an animal today. The human will be happy and thankful. The animal will be happy and thankful, and it should make you feel good as well. So it's a win-win all the way around. And why not, right? It's free. It's maybe one day somebody will do it for you when you need a little pick-me-up and somebody helps you with a bag or hold the door open or just something. It's just the right thing to do, Okay. Looks like AMD's up $1.50. Paxton says, thank you. You're welcome, Paxton. Dave says, thank you. Thank you, David. Jonathan says, cheers, guys. Cheers to you as well, Jonathan. Lova says, in an effort to reduce the number of my positions, I've sold none and added only 5 in the last 2 days. Well, that's good. I mean, that is something you have to consider. How many positions do you have? How much account heat do you have? You know, the more positions and the higher it goes, your risk to reward ratio starts getting worse and worse. If it keeps going up, then fantastic. But I'm glad you're making an effort, Lova, to reduce the number of positions. That's great. And just make sure you have a plan. You know, that's the main thing. Just make sure you have a plan with it. If they start going down, if they breach levels, you know, make sure you know where those levels are and you act accordingly. Well, Google dropped 30 points quickly. All right, does anybody have any other questions, anything to add? If you do, this would be the time. Okay, well, thank you for coming today. Nice to have you here. I hope you have a nice rest of your day. Go out, do something for a human. Go out, do something for an animal. Do something for yourself. Be good to yourself. Drive safe. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so if it's garbage day for you tomorrow, make sure you put them out tonight. I'm saying this as a reminder to myself. And I think that's it. So take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.